Oh man, what an insane 24 hours it's been in crypto. Portfolios across the board decimated, only to see hours later that we're back in the green. I looked at my portfolio in the morning when we made the video yesterday. A multiple six-figure loss, you come back to it. Back in the green with six figures. What is going on in this market? Should we still be worried? And how do we navigate this market from here? Loads to get into today. If you like this type of content as and when it matters, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. Trying to get to 20,000 sub, guys. Only you guys can help. Hit the subscribe button. Share with your friends and family. It really helps me make this content for you guys, particularly on crazy days like yesterday. Crazy candle. This candle opened up at 97.6, went as low as 91,000, but then we closed the day in the green at 101.4. So despite everything that happened yesterday, we ended up having a positive 3.8% day, and there's a big lesson in there. When I made my video yesterday, Dubai time, we were in the depths, close to 92, 93,000. The candlestick was a horrible red candlestick, which would have been poking all the way through here. But I came on and I said, guys, there's no need to panic. We need to be patient in this market, right? We need to understand what is going on with the tariffs, which I'm going to give you an update on now. And we need to understand what the situation was. But more importantly, I did share what the quick fix would be. And in yesterday's video, I said, guys, the only way this gets resolved quickly, the only way there's a quick solution to this where we avoid a trade war is if the countries give in. And literally hours later, Donald Trump's tariffs got the result he was looking for. He got permission from Mexico to really dive in across the border and try to stop this, the drugs coming across the border, which Trump was claiming he wanted to address. So Mexico capitulated. We then got from Canada, that Canada got on the on the call with Trump. Justin Trudeau got on a call with Trump and said they're going to pause their tariffs as well. Really good news for markets, which is why we got the UNO reverse card later in the day, and you saw some of those gains start to come back again into the market. Really important. Now, that being said, we're still seeing a little bit of redness in the market today, a little bit of softening. But really, when you look at it, we're about flat, right? Yes, big positive day yesterday, a bit red today. We're evening out at plus about 1%. Market wants to wait for the US markets to open, right? The pre-market in the US seems to be bouncing back a little bit, which is good, just tentative to / trying to jump after the Canadian pause. So this is good, right? This is good news that we've managed to have some resolution. Now, there are still risks on the table. Let's not pretend that we're completely out of the woods. There is still a chance that we hit some rocky roads, right? There is a chance that, Trump doesn't get his way and he has to go back on the tariffs again and be strict with these guys. That's going to be part and parcel of the political negotiations here. So we need to be aware of that. That being said, incredible strength here from Bitcoin in the face of what was record liquidations. Yesterday we spoke about the fact that there was close to $2.5 billion worth of liquidations in the market. The CEO of Bybit, Ben Zhu, came out in a tweet and said the following. He said, actually, you can times that figure by a lot more. Maybe we're closer to $8 to $10 billion worth of real liquidations. He's saying Bybit alone saw around $2 to $2.5 billion worth of liquidations. So this was definitely a record day you survived yesterday in terms of capitulation, in terms of leverage. Now, there's a few points I wanted to make about this, right? I mean, the first one being really obvious. Why are you guys still playing around with stupid leverage? Like, why? I mean, I've been making videos for years warning you guys, particularly the inexperienced ones, to stay away from leverage. Look at the last 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, this is separate to the 2.5 we spoke about, $307 billion worth of longs got liquidated, and then shorts to the extent of $234 billion. So whichever direction you're in, you're longing or shorting, it doesn't really matter in a volatile market like this. What matters is how much leverage are you using? Because those of you using crazy leverage who are getting liquidated, you are feeding the market makers. You are feeding the exchanges. Why do you continue to do so? Why do you continue to do so? You need to ask yourself, in these crazy volatile markets, use a bit of sense, cut your leverage, rotate across into spot, just understand that it's a crazy whip-soaring market. These wicks on these candlesticks mean one thing. Market makers are winning. Market makers want to grab liquidity. Now, we spoke about that yesterday as well. I said, guys, this could to all intents and purposes, just be a liquidity grab for market makers. And if you want to be even more kind of pessimistic or kind of thinking about conspiratorial about this, you can say, hey, what if this was an opportunity for Trump to buy cheap Bitcoin? World Liberty Fund, Trump, all the big institutions. If they're doing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, do you think they want to be buying Bitcoin at 109? Or do you want to think they want to be buying Bitcoin at 91,000? That's close to a $20,000 per Bitcoin discrepancy. They've dumped the market pretty quickly by 20% there. Right? And you can see there continues to be liquidity sat to the downside. But when we checked this previously, you saw that there was liquidity around that 90,000, which they've gone and grabbed. And guess what? Now the liquidity is sitting above. The most tempting liquidity now is coming from all the people that started going, oh, this is easy. Let's just short Bitcoin from the top. We're so clever. Now the liquidity sits here. Market makers will want to grab. So market makers will simply whipsaw to the upside, grab liquidity. Liquidity will then build up below, whipsaw to the downside, grab liquidity. So if you want real meaningful wealth over the long term in crypto, you're going to do it in spot. If you're a short-term trader and you want to use leverage, that's your prerogative. But my advice to you would be cut it down. In volatile markets where markets aren't as predictable, cut it down, cut it down. Now, with the candle close yesterday, we managed to keep quite a decent bit of an uptrend, right? We're still managing to keep higher lows, which is really good. Now we need a higher high leg. We need to see this, post a higher high, come back down, and keep our uptrend on Bitcoin. Of course, it's going to depend on the political stuff going on around the tariffs. There's going to be factors out of our control here, but it'll be nice to see this. In yesterday's video, I explained that we closed below the daily candle on the day before yesterday. Yesterday, we managed to close back above it just slightly, which is really good. So I do want to see whether when the US markets open later today, can we get a green candle today? Can we somehow, etch this candle back to that 101, 102 level and kind of close in the green? I think that'll be a real sign of strength here from Bitcoin if we can do that. We're going to need good news from, Canada, from Mexico and Trump, just to make sure that they're continuing to figure things out and speak instead of throwing tariffs around. That's going to be beneficial. But to be honest, from our perspective, what does it matter? What did yesterday provide? Yesterday provided an opportunity to buy the dip. And if we get big opportunities to buy the dip, I want to buy. Regardless of what happened yesterday, like I said in yesterday's video, we didn't even touch the weekly EMA ribbon, which sits at 88.5. The middle of the EMA ribbon starts at 80. So 80 to 88, I'd love to be buying the dip in that region if Bitcoin wants to pull back. You saw what happened with altcoins yesterday. Absolutely decimated, right? But equally, you can see that they started to recover. Let me just put it on the hourly chart so you guys can see. They fell, and then you get this V-shaped recovery, right? That's Ethereum you're looking at. Still crazy to see Ethereum at 2,700. I know everybody's shouting that this is a buy the dip opportunity, and I've been saying that for a while. I've been saying to rule out Ethereum is just insanity, absolute insanity at this point to be ruling out Ethereum when it's not had a movement. I mean, you're looking at Solana. I mean, it's crazy to think that Solana yesterday fell as low as 176. Insane to think that, because so many people were making money in Sol, in the trenches, trading meme coins, and then they would have woken up only to see that their Solana, which they've been growing, has just dropped by 20-30%. I mean, insane. Let's take a look at that's Cardano. Cardano, wow. Look at that. Oh, man. 50 cents on Cardano. I missed the dip on that one, guys. Look at that. Super horrible wick, now recovered back to 72 cents. Polygon wick, oh man, the discounts yesterday were insane. Down to 24 cents on Polygon at the lowest. Avalanche wick down to, what was the lowest on Avalanche? We got 15. Wow, now back at 25. Oh man. And these are the opportunities. I mean, this is why having conviction is so important. Had you have just bought some Avalanche yesterday in the dip, right? 70%, right? This is what's crazy about this market. You've got to be locked in. You've got to have conviction. You've got to have things which you believe in. Otherwise, you're not going to get these gains. If you just chase the tops like everybody else is doing, you're not going to do well in this game, right? You've got to be able to do the opposite. When people are fearful, that's when you've got work to do. That's when you need to strap in and get to work. When people are being greedy and the market's getting a little bit frothy, that's not when you want to be chasing in. That's when you want to say, okay, this is getting a little bit silly now. Everybody's talking about crypto. Nobody has a negative viewpoint on crypto right now. I need to be thinking the opposite, right? So train yourself to do that. Train yourself to be able to do that would be my best bet. So still, guys, you've got plenty of really good opportunities in the market. I mean, if you guys are looking at altcoins, You've got Sui sitting at $3.30. Jupiter still less than $1. You've got Binance Coin 571. I mean, this still got some crazy price action, guys. I mean, look at this. All of these coins here are below their 200 exponential moving average, which is this line here, the blue colored line you're looking at. Super, super discounted on a lot of these coins. Now, it would be remiss of me to say that we're completely out of the woods. I just want to reiterate that. We could get deeper pullbacks. And the reason I reiterate that is the same reason that I shared with you guys in yesterday's video. When I look at this chart here on Bitcoin, I look at how extended it is, right? It is extended. Even with what we've had here recently, which is a sideways consolidation, we've not had a downward consolidation, right? We've had a sideways consolidation, not a downward one. A downward one would be something like this. Come into your EMA ribbon, and then you can bounce from that with strength and go have your next leg up, right? That's something I would be looking for, but we're not getting that. At the moment, we're getting a sideways consolidation, which in a way shows the strength of Bitcoin, but that also what makes me nervous, because ultimately we've not retested the previous all-time high, which we broke out from. So I continue to sit here and go, okay, I do want to see us retest that 72, 73 level. I think that would be good for the long term of Bitcoin to just prove that we've turned that into support, but at the same time, there's no guarantees, right? So I'm prepared. To summarize, I'm prepared for 87 down to 73K on Bitcoin. None of that would panic me. What would short term make me a little bit stressed is if we lose the weekly EMA ribbon. That would require a close below 71,000. If we get a weekly candlestick below 71,000, okay, then we need to sit, we need to talk. Is the bear market over? Are we going into hibernation for a bit? What's the plan? Right now, when I look at this chart, it's still extended, it's still bullish, and it's still got room to kind of come down and test. So that's something I'm looking for here on the Bitcoin chart. Crazy 24 hours. Let me know in the comments below, guys. How are you feeling about this market? Are you buying the dip? Are you panicking? Do you think we got more downside? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.